Good morning, my faithful wild ponies. This video is sponsored by the group of not very intelligent people who, after seeing 2 screenshots, suddenly became experts in the field of computer graphics, programming, PlayStation 4 performance, and even optics. Because these idiots are shouting in social media that Spider-Man has been downgraded and spreading misinformation, I was forced to make this video. Before I turn to the merits, I would like to remind you that Spider-Man, the newest Insomniac game, will be released by Sony only on PlayStation 4 consoles. Okay, we're starting. Of course, it is not a secret that these rumors are spreaded by fanatics of other platforms.
Yo, apparently there's been a major Spider-Man downgrade and these PlayStation fanboys do not want us talking much about it.
Spider-Man exclusivity caused them gigantic hemorrhoids.
Then my friend, she is suffering from the worst case of hemorrhoids I have ever seen!
Their butt hurt is gigantic. Therefore, they decided to sweeten these hard moments and spread false information. Xbots to prove their thesis, they decided to do something that they are the best: manipulating facts and lying. What did they do? They chose an unrepresentative fragment from the 5-minute trailer. A scene lasting 3.5 seconds. The photo is from the 5-minute material. The trailer contains a fragment of the same scene that we could see a year ago in the previous trailer. And it was these 3.5 seconds that served to create Spider-Man's downgrade myth. First of all, different quality screenshots were used. The photo from 2017 has a better quality than the picture from 2018. This is not coincidence. They wanted lower quality to help to prove the assumption of the wrong thesis. So let's look at this scene. And now the material from a year ago. Indeed, this place looks less attractive than in the previous trailer. The problem is that this is not a downgrade. This is the so-called cosmetics. Changes in lighting, saturation and color temperature. And here's the proof. I made an attempt to reverse the changes that Insomniac made. I changed the light and color temperature settings. Looks similar? Let's move to the Xbox objections. Less detailed Spider-Man costume. Bullshit. On the screenshot, we have a static image of Spider-Man in motion. In addition, there is a strong light that brightens details and reduces their clarity. To see this, just watch the entire video and not one screenshot. Even in the same scene, it can be seen that if faster Spider-Man moves, the more motion blur is applied, which also causes loss of detail. Everyone should know it from the fucking reality. If not, do an experiment. You can do it at home. Look at your hand. Move slowly, then repeat the same movement quickly. I'm going to bet that the image of the hand will be blurred in proportion to the speed. For some unexplained reasons, this 3.5 second scene shows a downgrade of Spider-Man costume and the whole game, and the remaining scenes in the same trailer, in which the costume looks much better, are irrelevant. But to understand Xbots, The puddle disappeared. PS4 is not able to render so many puddles. Yes, puddles are very important for Xbox fans. Each of them has one under the bed. I also remember that puddles were the main argument for buying another Forza game. Puddles are important. Well, yes, the puddle disappeared. It's a fact. This is not a hardware limitation, only a logical consequence of changing the lighting and temperature of the scene. Of course, someone could insist that the Insomniac made a hot day off because the console couldn't display of several puddles. And again, invalid argument. There is many gameplay videos on the YouTube where Spider-Man is running and fighting in the locations where is a lot of puddles. Much more than in the trailer from 2017. If you look more closely at the new version, there have been more changes in the room. Location has some additional details. Some fanboy even considered it as a downgrade. He didn't notice that he had mistaken the screenshots. Well, let's assume for a moment that they're right and Spider-Man has been downgraded for real. Is there any game on Xbox One that is not on PlayStation, which has an open world and better graphics than downgraded Spider-Man? Oh yes. State of Decay 2. Sea of Thieves. Or maybe Crackdown 3? Yes, Xbox has a long history of downgraded games. Maybe that's why these idiots are so oversensitive. Xbox fanboys are unlucky. Every time they try to sell us rumors about Sony game downgrade, and it turns out that game has become even more beautiful. Infamous Second Son, Horizon, Detroit, and even God of War. Always the same story. Today, they are trying to convince us that Spider-Man has been downgraded. In the case of Sony games, rumors ends in the release day, the game appears, and is even more beautiful. In the case of Microsoft games, the game comes out, and game is not only ugly as before, but game lacks of content, and has a lot of bugs and glitches. This is sad Xbot life. At the end, trailer in which Xbots found a downgrade. The game looks great. Please hit this like and subscribe button.
Welcome to Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, alerting the fine citizens of New York City to the threats they don't even know about. Namely, that menace Spider-Man. Our first caller is... what'd you say your name was?
Hi, this is Peter Patterson. Don't you think you're a little hard on Spider-Man?
Let me tell you something, Patterson. Spider-Man treats New York City as his own personal playground. Just yesterday, I saw him doing backflips and 360s. Disgraceful. Running and crawling on buildings. In fact, I have it on good authority that he's been doing swan dives off of skyscrapers. It seems the more confident he gets, the more creative he gets. Walk like a normal person.
Come on, what's wrong with a little sightseeing? New York is super diverse and constantly changing. Maybe he's just looking for vantage points to monitor crime?
Crime he's causing, you mean? Sources tell me he has backpacks filled with who knows what hidden throughout the city. Unauthorized research stations. Get a permit like the rest of us, loser! Ever since he came onto the scene, prancing around like an 80s action hero, gangs have been setting up shop, using warehouses, construction sites, and rooftops as bases of operation, putting lives at risk. Who does he think he is? Spider Cop?
I really feel like he's trying to help people.
I don't want to hear it. The fine people of New York deserve better.
My uncle once said, with great power, there must also come great responsibility. Maybe this is just his way of growing into the hero he wants to be. And from what I've seen, the people seem to be A-okay with that.
Agree to disagree, Patterson. Spider-Man only cares about one thing. Himself! Jameson out.
Yo, apparently there's been a major Spider-Man downgraded.